Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to talk about EOS 2.0, and some of the future developments and why I'm super excited to be in EOS right now, and I think EOS is a great spot to be in at the moment. Well, EOS 2.0, the specs have been released and it looks pretty incredible. One of the main things is that EOS is going to have its own virtual machine now. This is something that Ethereum has had for a long time, I think since the ICO, if I'm not mistaken. When the project first went live in its original form, which was Frontier, yeah, Ethereum Frontier, they had their virtual machine live, and now EOS has been using WebAssembly, but they are now going to have their own unique specialized virtual machine. So that's going to be great. That's going to allow a lot more scalability in terms of transaction throughput. It's going to allow the program to be able to run a lot more smooth on the EOS blockchain, because it's going to be custom to the EOS blockchain. Another one that I'm super excited about, this is a feature that is amazing and absolutely necessary for mainstream adoption, is WebAuthn or web authentication. See, if you are using the EOS blockchain today, you need to use third-party applications like Scatter, like MetaMask, to interact with the blockchain, to sign and to identify and secure yourself on the network. But with WebAuthn, it uses standards that interact with browsers that are going to be able to allow you to communicate in a secure way without using these third-party softwares and having to download them and having to constantly verify every single transaction and sign every single transaction on the EOS blockchain. This is big, and this is something that I don't see any other change really doing. This is something that is critical to mass adoption, and it's something that as a user you're gonna see, when you try to interact with any application. So you're not really hiding the blockchain if you still have to download third-party software in order to interact with the blockchain. So that's super important. And then there's all this stuff for the developers, Web IDE. So that's going to be a new development environment for EOS. IO smart contracts. So that's going to be huge for onboarding new developers onto EOS, which is critical. We need to have as many developers on EOS as possible, because that's going to boost the overall health of the network. That's going to boost the overall network effect of the network. And that is also going to boost the hype cycle for the network. And for all the people who are highly concerned about the EOS price, I completely understand. This can't last forever. EOS is, at the rate it's developing, at the rate it's growing, it's going to eventually have to experience some sort of Cambrian style explosion. And I personally think this next bull market will be a combination of EOS and Ethereum, because of the Ethereum DeFi movement that's going to be working in conjunction, that's going to boom and take us over to above the $1 trillion market cap for crypto, which is something that will be new territory. And once we get above that $1 trillion market cap, that's where like the real games are going to begin. That's when crypto at this point will become undeniable and the real FOMO will set in. And I'm pretty confident, this is just my personal opinion, not financial advice, I think that we are really close to seeing that happen. I don't think we're as far off as a lot of people think. There are a lot of people in the space who are incredibly excited, and not just just hype moon boys. It's a lot of people who have been in the space a long time, like Dan Larimer himself. Like, just watching him on Twitter and watching him talk about EOS 3.0 when he just was talking about EOS 2.0 the other day. Now he's talking about EOS 3.0, and he's excited about all the developments that are coming down the pike. And he feels, him and Brendan Bloomer and Block One feel like they have the solution for EOS governance, and then EOS New York also has their solution for EOS governance. So you know, his excitement is super infectious, and I feel like it's not unwarranted. I think Dan Larimer has clearly been in the blockchain space for a while. He's clearly a believer, and he's clearly experienced his set of successes and what you would call, I guess, mini failures, because the projects that he's had in the past have all had some mild level of success at the very least. He's innovated in so many different areas, and for him, I think it's all about, he really believes in the decentralized movement. So he's trying to take it to that next level, and I think that's what EOS is for him. I think Dan is really trying to knock it out of the park, and with a blockchain like EOS that's going to be able to run scalable decentralized applications and be that dApp layer and have all of these things like WebAuthn and like you know, infinite scalability for applications. I think this is why Dan has just been so excited lately, because he really, I think, sees everything coming full circle. You know, EOS governance, I mean, once that gets fixed and we have these massive improvements as far as scalability on the network, we've got the legal clarification from the SEC, we know where we stand, we can onboard developers because we have Web IDE. We are just going to get more and more network effect. There's going to be more and more demand for EOS tokens because there's going to be more and more need for resources on the EOS network, because it is the layer that is going to be able to house all of these applications. And you know, if this decentralized application movement is anything like the centralized application movement, there will be an app or a dApp for everything. I personally believe that there's going to be so many just use cases that really need to transition today. You know what I mean? Not tomorrow, not a year from now, not 2 years from now. There are so many people who need security of a blockchain and would greatly be able to benefit from using a decentralized ecosystem. So I think EOS is just checking all of the right boxes, guys. If you're in EOS, if you're in crypto, don't be discouraged right now. I truly think this is the calm before the storm. Like, do not be discouraged. The market is completely manipulated. We know that. There's nothing new there. I mean, the point I'm trying to make is it can't last forever. The only reason that it's being manipulated the way it is because we don't have the users. But once we get the users, once we, you know, educate people and tell people all of the things that blockchain can do, and not only tell them but show them, I mean, the price will just, you know, it won't take long. The speculators will come, and we, you know, will go to the moon. I won't talk anything beyond that, but it is coming, guys, for sure, for sure, for sure. Like, EOS is leading the way. It's taking us there. Applications will scale through liquid apps, through the EOS network, and, you know, even the Ethereum community. I really hope, you know, these guys, you know what I was thinking the other day? Vitalik Buterin and Dan Larimer, ideally, right? In a perfect world, I would love for these guys to get along, work together, and create a massive, you know, just togetherness, like for both communities. But in reality, the beauty of this open source software is we don't even need them to get along for these two protocols to work together, because we have Liquid Link and we have Liquid Apps, and it's open source. Nobody controls either one of these protocols. So open source, it's a beautiful thing. Don't be discouraged. Buy more crypto. I'll see you guys in the next video.